Hello, hi, welcome to an intimate night of amateur local stand-up comedy. I don't know what's going on, man. It's like March, right? You would think people would be out. It's March, it's spring. You know, I know it's spring. I got a bunch of ants in my house now. You know, I don't like the draft in winter, but I like not having ants. Now that it's spring, they're there eating the floor. This is like an older guy complaint, I guess. I don't have a landlord to call and be like, hey, fix this. I just have to go, oh, fuck, I have to sell this before it gets bad enough that the inspector will notice. All right, that's not material. That's just me talking. This is Comedy Open Mic, as everyone here knows. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a short show. We're going to be a little looser tonight. I encourage everyone to hang out, to have fun, to be expressive, right? Feel free to get in people's faces. Really call them to task for what they're saying on stage. Don't let anyone get away with this shit. All right? That was the problem with the last 5 years of comedy. People were getting away with shit. It's time we start bringing people to heel. Right, okay. You guys are all on board. I appreciate that. So my comedy show is mainly addressed to you guys who are in the audience. By the way, this always happens. I come here, I come with a lot of energy, I come excited to try stuff, and then there's no one here, and the second I'm done telling original jokes, people will just filter in. This is always the awkward part at the very beginning. This comedy show, so I encourage you guys, feel free to laugh. Smiling and nodding is really good, right? But laughter's better. Everyone is going to set their phone. You'll watch everyone come out tonight. They'll set their phone over here. They're recording it. And then they listen back to it as soon as they leave here. It's a horrible den of narcissism. So they listen to their own voices as soon as they're done talking. And if they don't hear laughter, they kill themselves. We've lost 2 comics this year, and it's only March. Frankly, it's why I have a short list. We're just losing too many comics to suicide. So if you want to laugh out loud, that'd be preferred. Aside from that, CB is our bartender downstairs. If you need something to drink, go downstairs. CB will give it to you. If you order food, it'll be brought up. Do ask that you try and bring your stuff down with you, but I will also help out with that. Any questions aside from that? No one ever asked questions during it. That was a horror. I shouldn't do that. All right. And now, because the list is so short, I'm going to have to do a set. Yeah, I know. I'm the only comedy host who's like, fuck, I have to perform. It is weird to do this. I'm a dad. I have 2 kids at home. I got a 3-year-old and a kid who will be 1 on Saturday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Really, honestly, I thought there was going to be total silence, so that was better than I expected. It's weird to do this and also have kids, because if you were to drop in on me an hour ago, here's what you would have seen. You're seeing good night, moon. Good night, stars. Good night, air. Good night noises everywhere. I love you, buddy. Then you cut an hour forward in time. I cut my dick shaving last night. That is true, I cut my dick shaving last night. I've been married now for almost 5 years, so I'm out of ways to make it exciting, but I said, this will at least be interesting. And so I went upstairs while my wife was downstairs making dinner, decided to shave, and I cut my dick shaving. That sucked. I would not recommend that. It's not something I'm going to try and repeat. And it bled so much. It bled so much, and I was so scared. I was so scared I had to make a decision. Am I going to scream for help? Am I going to call my wife? Or am I just going to die here in the bathroom with dignity? You know, the dignity of being found gray and lifeless, holding your cut, bloody dick by your wife. I chose to die with dignity. Turns out, toilet paper will just fix that whole problem, and I'll be good. But, cutting my dick wasn't even the worst part. You know what the worst part was putting on the aftershave. Ha-cha-cha. But now I don't have any ingrown hairs. Which does not cover up the herpes. I think I'm a better parent than my wife. It's not because of anything inherent. It's just I think I'm more patient than my wife. My wife does the same thing with our kids that all parents do. She goes, if you don't behave, we're going to leave. I'm giving you count to 3. 1, 2. And then we all have to leave the brewery because someone won't get off the table. But I'm different because I grew up, I had a socket set, so I know more numbers than my wife does. So I'm like, I'm going to count to 3, buddy. 1, 2, 2.5, 2 3/16, 2 5/10, 23 millimeters. That's right, we're raising in a bilingual household. That's a Japanese socket. Need that to work on a Toyota. All right. don't know if I really want to do this one. I have a, did anyone have a dog? Anyone have a dog? Anybody with a dog in here? Yeah. You? Anyone? Yeah? Perfect. By the way, this always helps at a comedy show. Buy into the premise even if it's not true. Anyone in here ever been enlisted in the Space Force? Perfect. Okay, you guys are following along. Right. I got a dog, and you know, when you get a dog, everyone tells you you're not allowed to buy a dog, right? You say, don't buy a dog. What do you have to do? They tell you, you got to go rescue a dog, right? But they always tell you you got to go to this certain place to rescue a dog. They say, make sure you get the dog from a no-kill shelter. Make sure you rescue the dog from the no-kill shelter. Don't support the yes-kill shelter. And certainly don't rescue a dog from the yes-kill shelter. Go to the no-kill shelter where the dogs are in mortal danger of being fed and played with and taken care of. It's the same way I bought my Toyota, by the way. I went to the SPCA, I met with somebody at the desk, I checked in, they walked me around, they showed me all the different dogs, let me go in the room, play with it a little bit to see if I like it. And then in the end, you know, just like at the Toyota dealership, you go up to the counter, you sit down, you fill out some paperwork, and then you give them $250, and you've rescued a Corolla. All right, I really fucked that joke up, but I did manage to pull it out, guys, because I'm a professional. Okay, this is where I'm going to go for being fun to being gross. I am it's the White Claw. That's the gross part. Mango. Bleh. As a father now, it's going to be my job. I'm going to have to pass lessons on to my kids. I'm going to instill life lessons in them, which is tough, you know, because I want to be able to give them something unique, you know, something informed by my perspective. Like my father, every time I would leave the house, my father would always say to me the same thing. He'd say, Jacob, whatever you do tonight, don't commit credit card fraud and do not get anyone pregnant. And I never got anyone pregnant. Wait, no. I fucked that one up too. I never committed credit card fraud, even when I really needed $468. After 6 weeks, you can't do it anymore. Some people get uncomfortable with that joke, but I like to remind everybody that I'm the father of a 3-year-old, a 1-year-old, and a 16-year-old ghost, so I can do whatever I want. So I'm trying to think, what would be advice that I could give that, like, my son's not going to be able to pick up on daytime TV, and I think I finally figured it out. One day I made to sit both my sons down and be like, sons, listen to me. Never, ever 69 with a girl wearing fake eyelashes. Because it is going to feel like a centipede is rolling across your asshole. I got married, stopped dating Latino women, didn't think I had to deal with it anymore. But I married an Italian chick, so the little edges of her mustache do the same thing. I'm just kidding. We're almost in our 40s. We can't 69 anymore. I'm going to skip all of these. I don't know if you guys saw, it was in the news today, Germany is increasing their military budget. They're going to go up to about 5% of GDP in response to the whole Trump-Zelensky thing, which, good, you know? I say we got to get this war stopped, because I don't want to be paranoid, but I'm a bit of a student of history, and I think in a couple of years we're going to need a lot of Russian soldiers. Because Germany's rearming. I know, I thought of that like 3 minutes ago, and I wrote it down. And then I skipped jokes that I know work to do that, and I regret it. I regret every moment of my existence right now. Right. Let's finish strong. Strong. Molestation? Call me crazy, but I'd like less molestation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Someone once tried to give me feedback on the joke. They said, why don't you do no molestation? And I said, there's 7 billion people on the planet. I'm a realist. There's going to be some. I just want there to be less. I don't know. Hey, has anyone over at this table, I know these people have, but have you ever heard of misogyny? You heard of misogyny? Yeah. This is just my opinion. But I think if she weren't such a bitch, she could be a Mrs.-ogyny. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys, that's been my time, my contractually obligated time. Thank you very much. This is really when you clap for somebody. We're going to start the show proper now. We're going to bring up your first comedian tonight. This guy is here. He is practicing for a work event. All right. Are you getting nervous? Yeah. Yeah? You shouldn't be, man. It's just like another day at the office. Am I right? Hell yeah. All right, everybody, put your hands together for Jeff Hanna.
Thanks, Jacob. Thanks, everybody, for having me out this evening. Jeff Hanna. Bear with me, I have a lot of anxiety when I do comedy, mostly because it's difficult to be the best-looking person in a room. I get a lot that I have a Clooney vibe. Rosemary Clooney, his aunt, who died at 75 pounds overweight. I'm fine with that. I shortened it to Clooney, but you see where I'm going with this. I was a comedian 20 years ago. We moved here from LA, where I did stand-up comedy. And I did stand-up comedy so long ago, obviously a lot has changed. Me Too, and cancel culture and all this other stuff. When I did stand-up, it was so long ago, people could smoke in bars. Bars smelled like smoke and stale beer, and it attracted adults, including men. You'd bump into men in a place. Men with big fat fingers who shaved twice a day. Guys who smelled like leather, English leather. Real men, like Timothy Chalamet. I can see how women would maybe want to get with a guy like Timothy Chalamet, but you have to ask yourself a practical question. Sure, he's got an Oscar, congratulations. If you get pregnant by that guy, and I defy you to, but if you get pregnant and you want pickles, who's opening the fucking jar? Because Tim isn't getting that jar open for you. He's got little tiny hands. I saw him holding the statuette. He's got tiny hands. Sorry. A lot of people ask me, well, first of all, so that's where the line I want to find is. We're in a time of inclusivity. That's an important word, right? Being inclusive. And I just made fun of Timothy Chalamet for being different than me, for being smaller than me. And is that being inclusive? I don't know. I do want to point out that I just included that pussy in this joke. So that strikes me as being inclusive. You like that? I like you too, buddy. There's a lot of gender in the news. I can't get away from it. This new administration has issued executive orders. There's actually an executive order right now that defines genders. And the definition of a woman involves reference to fallopian tubes. This was written by people who I am confident, guys who have never kissed a woman, much less touched pussy. And they're commenting on it. I don't know why we need to abandon the old definitions, which I thought were pretty straightforward. If you live in a home with other people, do you kill the spiders? If so, you're probably the man. If there is a jar that requires opening, probably the man. My wife did not volunteer to put the dog down. That's a dad job. Jacob, congratulations on having 2 kids. I have 50% more than you. I've also been married 4 times as long. I don't want to.
Productive, man.
What's that?
Not that efficient.
I'm not efficient?
I didn't seem like it.
I have 3 kids, but really 5. I have 2 sons and a daughter with 3 personalities. My eldest son is 17 and taller than me, almost 17 and taller than me. He was born with a head that grew incredibly quickly. His head was so large that during a visit with his pediatrician, she literally leaned over to me and measured the size of my skull and said, "Well, I feel better now." What was really awkward, though, was when he was like 5 or 6 months old and we would be out in public and he had this head. It was freakishly large, his head. And people would look at his head, and then I could see, because you know where people are looking, I could see eyes drift down toward my wife's region. And I would look at him like, asshole, his head was not that big when he was born. I mean, if it were, it would be like my wife had held a grenade between her legs and destroy that environment. I'm going to finish strong. Stronger than Jacob, as a matter of fact. But there's still going to be room to improve. So yeah, I lived in LA for a long time. I lived in New York. People were like, oh, you came to Richmond, your life must be less exciting. And I said, no. I've done a lot of exciting things since I've moved here. I moved in with the love of my life. We're married 20 years this year. Thank you. I remember just like yesterday when we moved in together, we were moving our things into the bathroom, and my now wife came across a box of condoms. She says, I guess you don't need these anymore. And I said, go ahead, throw them away. Just don't come crying to me when you get AIDS. I travel a lot, I'm with a lot of people. I don't know what I'm going to pick up, but hey, your body, your choice. All right, one last joke. But I don't know what I want to test. You getting this? This can't be good for you. You see, you're getting all that neck fat? It's obstructive, I swear to God. Yeah, it's bad. I've thought about as I've aged. Today's actually my 50th birthday. That's true. Yeah, thank you. As I have aged, I've thought a lot of things. I was raised Catholic, but I have doubted religion, among other things along the way. And one thing I've thought about is there a better choice for an afterlife? You're a Christian, you die, you go to heaven, and hopefully you bask in the beauty of the Lord for all eternity. Hindus, you bounce back as a different organism, and I kind of like to throw the dice on that. I mean, if I had a chance to come back as a different animal, I know exactly which one it would be. It would be the panda bear. Tell me an animal that lives a better life than a panda bear. It is an animal that spends its day doing this. Mow bamboo. It's an animal that people are actually worried about. Scientists, the best minds in the world, are worried about it having sex. They bring animals to it to have sex. That's not a bad gig. Food and sex delivered to you all day long, and people pray that you will actually have sex. I hope I have sex once a year. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Thanks. Enjoy the fries and the tots.
Jeff Hanna, everybody. Give it over to Jeff Hanna. I can guarantee that is the nicest pair of shoes that have ever been over someone's head in this bar. That's Jeff Hanna did comedy so long ago that his searching for a joke move is called tapping the waitress on the behind. That was a weird move, and he did it so many times that he suffered from brain fog. Jeff just turned 50. Congratulations, Jeff. Other stuff I picked up from Jeff's set: he's been married for 20 years. Also said he's been married 4 times. So if you do the math on that, that means Jeff couldn't figure it out 4 different times in his 20s. That's crazy, Jeff. How many bad marriages do you got to get out of before you're like, I'll take a break? Maybe like a 2-year gap year between marriages.
I said I was married 4 times longer than you. I thought you said you were married 5 times.
Ah, okay, yeah. Well, you know what? I wish I didn't let you correct me, because it was better my way.
To be fair, though, this is my first wife.
Ooh, la-di-da. Guy's bragging about having a first car that's 20 years old. All right, well, that's kind of rude, actually, and now I feel bad. By the way, what the fuck kind of job do you work at where you're testing out Timothy Chalamet as a pussy jokes for work? That's the worst Jimmy Johns in the world. All right, let's move on, everybody. Your next comic is when you talk about a sandwich artist, there's sandwich artist and then there's sandwich artiste. Okay, your next comic is like the Banksy of salami. Put your hands together for Hopewell's own Patrick Logan. All right, your next comic, it's brand new here. His is first time here. Everybody put your hands together for Andrew Peters. I love you, American History X, my man.
Oh, shit. No, this haircut is actually because I had to go to jail this year. 2025. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to talk about some, kind of personal stuff. So, if you have any questions, you can shout them out. 2025, crazy year. That number's too high. That doesn't sound like a real number for the year. There's a lot of bad things happening this year, but a positive note, Kendrick Lamar and AI SpongeBob are officially the best rappers in the world. We know that for a fact. Actually, it's Sandy Cheeks. I mean, her feature's the best always. Rough year. Doge doing some crazy stuff. I would really be happy if they got rid of the DEA. That would be probably the best move they could make to win me over, personally. The DEA is actually just looking for the CIA because they drive away with their empty van that was just filled with a bunch of drugs. Seems inefficient to me, personally. But I guess I'm not in charge. Now, all I'm saying is, if I could buy ketamine over the counter at CVS, I definitely wouldn't shoot a CEO. That's all I'm saying. I can't commit crimes. I'm scared of jail now. That shit sucked. So I work at Costco. Fortunately, I got to keep my job. I really like working at Costco, mostly because what I get to do, I push shopping carts in the parking lot. It's a good workout. I like getting strong at work. If you ever see me out there, do we have any Costco members here? We got some Costco members. Cool. Are y'all executive members? Oh shit. All right. Tip your bartender, Miss Moneybags over here. So I guess the rest are Gold Star members. A Costco Gold Star member is somebody who's never shopped at Sam's Club or BJ's. It's a gay joke. Gold Star member. I like it a lot. The other perk is free snacks left in the shopping carts. If you leave half a cookie in your cart, just make sure it looks broken off of, not bit off of. I will enjoy that cookie in the middle of my shift. I'm not joking. The other day, somebody left a protein shake. Somebody took one sip of a protein shake and then just left the rest of it in their cart. It's a free 29 grams. All right, I'm not just gonna let that slide. I mean, Costco pays me well, but not enough to ignore free protein like that. What else? So they trained me to be a gas station attendant there, which is kind of cool. I can operate any Costco gas station, not to brag. The training was pretty interesting. I wasn't sure what they were getting at, but the first 10 minutes of this little online training module was all about just how dangerous gasoline is. We all know it's flammable, we all know it, carbon stuff, but it turns out if just a little bit gets in the groundwater, it gets on your skin, it's very toxic. And then the very next thing they say is, people spill this shit all the time. There's big spills, there's small spills. It's all gonna be your problem if it happens while you're here. I'm like, are y'all trying to train me on this, or are you trying to convince me to sabotage your gas station? I can't really tell. You're telling me this stuff, and then you're giving me access to the keys to the giant reservoir of gas. It's probably some stuff I could do, but anyways, don't tell my boss about that one. Got to keep my job when I went to jail. It was only for speeding. I was speeding on my motorcycle. I know, right? Thank you for that reaction, because I had no fucking idea that you could go to jail for speeding on your motorcycle. 120 and a 55. Yeah. Shit. Look.
That's an automatic felony, brother.
What was that?
That's an automatic felony.
Hey, they let me drive away. I came up with a bullshit. I was panicked. I said, my roommate's girlfriend tried to kill herself. So I had to go home and my roommate's gay. The cops were, as chill as cops could be, I guess. They let me drive away. They didn't take my bike on the spot, which was nice. That was the judge. I didn't really have much of a defense. He heard the girlfriend thing and he wasn't really impressed. And it was like at midnight on 64. Nobody else was on the highway. Like I've never done a wheelie. Like I'm actually not reckless. It wasn't as bad as it sounds. It turns out all the judge cares about is how it sounds. He wasn't on the bike with me. He might have had a good time if he was, but his robe flying, shit would have been tight. A friend of mine got me addicted to Squishmallows. We got some fellow squish heads out here. All right, let's fuck. I don't know the terminology. I just got into them. My friend hit me up. He said Costco is gonna have the giant Snorlax Squishmallow. So I was like, all right, I can get that for you, no problem. I got it and I got it home, and then we sold out. And I was like, yo, this thing kind of feels like a giant boob, and so I had to keep it. And since it's a Pokemon, I felt like I could keep my addiction under control. I just needed to get 6 of them to have a full Pokemon team. And I'll read you guys out the team. I actually brought the tags so you know that I'm not a Squishmallow poser. Here, let me read them out to y'all. All right. Oh, I missed one. Here we go. All right, let's see here. I'll flip them around. Yeah, they're all... all right, look. Can you see? Can you guys see? All right. So... Gengar, every cool person's favorite Pokemon, right? Gengar, everybody loves Gengar. All right, I got giant Clefairy. I got a Clefairy, okay? Whole team of Pokemon here. I got a Dragonite, all right? Y'all already know about the Snorlax, okay? I got Teddiursa, and then as my very last Pokemon, I got Sonic. But I like my Squishmallows. Making my bed is a little more difficult now. There's full of Squishmallows, but it's worth it. But where they don't let you get Squishmallows is jail. Maybe they do. Maybe they do in like regular general population, but because I was only there 10 days, they made me stay in intake the whole time, which intake is... It's kind of a punishment. It's like you have to stay there while they like wait to check your tuberculosis test results, or like if you're detoxing off of drugs, that's where you hang out until like they're done with your detox or whatever. So you don't get, there's no commissary. They sent me in there for 10 days with one set of clothes. Only way you can get other clothes is commissary. No commissary. No, the food was ass. You don't, there was no library time, no library access if you're in intake, no rec time. Pretty much the worst of the worst. Also in intake, everybody who goes to prison or jail of any capacity ends up in intake. Like if you murdered a bunch of people, you get arrested in a county and you're in intake for a minute and then you go to prison. So, it's the only place where somebody with a speeding ticket could be hanging out with a serial killer. Yeah, I didn't really realize that, so I kind of approached the whole thing like, so what's up, guys? Y'all down for prison reform? Like, they're like, what the fuck? Who does this guy think he is? All right, thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. And thanks for hosting this. I've always heard it's the best one in town.
Great, thanks. That was sarcastic or not. That's my own lack of self-esteem. All right, give it to Andrew Peters, everybody. Andrew Peters. Told the cops that he was in a rush because his roommate's girlfriend tried to kill herself, and they were like, that sounds like a lot of paperwork, you go ahead. That's crazy. Your whole thing about the gasoline. I used to work doing accounting in a scientific laboratory, and so when I got there, I do this OSHA training, like what to do if you come across a chemical spill. And it was like a 3-hour training. Like if it's a red diamond with a 4 on the side of it, you have to do this. And if it's a blue diamond with the 2, you have cancer now. And like all these different steps to follow. And after I finished that training, the next day I'm in the conference room, and the person who's training me, and they're like, so, hey, pop quiz, what do you do if you come across a chemical spill in the lab? And I said, go home. Fucking leave. I'm here to do math. All right, that was me letting people move around in their seats. Perfect timing on my part, as always. I also, last time I went to jail, the thing about being in an intake is that you're in your like regular clothes most of the time, so every time you go to the bathroom, they, if you're a man, well, at least used to be the case, if you're a man, they make you lift your scrotum to make sure you don't have bombs, knives, or other explosives on you. No matter how often you pee in intake, they do that. And at a certain point, you're like, I think this is just a gay perverted cop. Because he knows I have no C4 under my nutsack right now, and he's still doing this. Fucking idiot, I had a DET cord in my belly button. All right, we're going to bring your next comic up. Your next comic, first time here, but I hear he's a hot new stud on the scene, setting everything on fire. Put your hands together for Chris Waller.
It's actually just Pat Logan again. I'm just in blackface. Nice. So I take this theater history class, and we were going over this one play that was about like slavery and how it affected the characters in the play. And this one guy raised his hand and went on like a 5-minute rant on all the Irish stereotypes he noticed in the play. And, you know, when did like Irish heritage become the new get out of white guilt free card? You know, like, you never want to compare plights, but I've never seen a history book of like an Irish guy with like fucking clover-shaped whelps on his back. I haven't seen it yet. If anyone can debunk it, I'd love to see it. But I was with my friend the other day, and he did that like incel nerd thing where he saw a girl with like an anime t-shirt and tried to quiz her. But the girl but he was asking her shit that I didn't know, so I was starting to feel like a fraud. I was like, holy shit, when was Naruto's birthday? Oh my god, my life's been a lie. I recently found out that the scientific classification for a black skull is Negroid. What the fuck, y'all? Whose ancestors do I need to dig up to figure this out? I'm looking at you, Silver. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Do we have any Frank Ocean fans in attendance? Nice. What do you guys think we're getting first? A new album or the Epstein file? Both have been teased for quite a while, but we never quite see it, do we? I was at this Chinese restaurant the other day, and I knew it was gonna be good because when I walked in, they jumped like I was there to rob the place. That's how I knew it was authentic. I was like, oh, this is gonna be the best fucking egg roll. I recently found my way onto van life TikTok, basically just LARPing poverty. I'm really into it for the character development because where else are you gonna see a Google employee learn how to fry a squirrel? But I always feel bad for the kids in those videos because they always look like they're being held hostage, you know, because they didn't pick that life. Their parents woke up one day and they were like, you know, it's a good idea. Vehicular homelessness. Settle a bet between me and my friends. Do you think it's weird to shave your ass as a straight man? Yeah, see, that's what I've been trying to tell them, right? Because I'm gonna preface this by saying I have a abnormally hairy ass. Like, an inner afro, if you will, you know? Like, imagine if steel wool was made illegal, but you had to get it past airport security. That's what my ass looks like. So naturally, you want to cut that shit down. But my friends are like, that's weird, man. You don't clean your house if you're not expecting a visitor. I've always been like, can a nigga just not clean his house for his own peace of mind? Like, so you're saying that outside the public eye, you live like a fucking muskrat. That's a musty mindset. Don't put that shit on me, man. You have no idea what it's like to use like a baby wipe and have that shit sound like a Cub Scout getting demoted. Just straight Velcro on your shit because it's getting caught on every fiber of hair. It sucks, man. It sucks. I really like the decor on all the walls. I've never performed in a detention desk before, so this is really interesting. I'm in this playwriting class as well, and they tell us immediately. They told us day one, do not write anything down that you're not comfortable sharing with other people. Because not only do you just have to be read, but you have to cast people in your play to read it. It's basically saying, do not write anything crazy because it will come up. So there is this guy, we'll call him Brian. Very skeevy looking white kid, one of the oiliest faces I've ever seen. His shit looked flammable. This shit it was bad. And he's losing his hair. He can't be much older than me, but he's already losing his hair, but he chose to have it super long. So he took it upon himself to write the worst black sin ever penned, and then had me read it. Yeah. For context, the character was my age. And there was a line that said, that Steve Urkel looking motherfucker. Everything he knows about black people is from early 2000s Family Guy. He didn't do his research at all. And then I ripped into him afterwards about it, to the point where he left the room, and they were like, well, maybe you were a little harsh on him. I was like, that was a 5-page script. He had at least 4 to reconsider. Fun fact about me, since Logan brought it up earlier, if my mom hadn't gotten married, my name would be Chris Brown. Dodged a fucking bullet, am I right? And not only that, my dad originally wanted to name me Kobe, but this was the year he had an active case going on. I dodged that shit twice. I almost got hit by a car the other day, and for a lot of people that's a very traumatic experience, and it can deeply disturb you. I was more disturbed by how cool with it I was. So the lady in the car gave me this evil look, like it was my fault, and I was like, you're mad, I'm still alive. Anybody? So it's March now. Has anybody stuck to their New Year's resolution? Anybody still going at it? Oh, who said that? What was your resolution?
Be neater and tidier. Organized.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. So I'm lazy. So I have shit that I want to do by the end of the year, and one of the things I want to do is get back into saxophone. Because I played it for a little bit in high school for about 3 years. Not because I wanted to be a musician, but because I had this fantasy in my head, right? That I'd be on a date at a fancy restaurant, live band playing, and the saxophonist just falls over and dies. And his bandmate gets down next to him and checks his pulse. And he's like, well, somebody's got to finish the song. So then I just the server who's next to my table is like, does anybody know how to play saxophone? So I just slide out of my chair. I put my hand on their shoulder, and I pull a reed out of my left breast pocket. And I just whisper, I got this. And then I just saunter over to the stage. The rigor mortis is set in, so you gotta pry his cold, dead fingers off of the saxophone and blow the roof off the place with this song I've never rehearsed. It hasn't happened yet. But when it does, I'll be ready. Is anybody familiar with NBA Youngboy? Yes. Yeah, he's just, you're a fan, Jacob?
No, I'm giving you a 1-minute warning.
Oh my. So he's in jail right now, so he can't make music. And his dad is rapping on his behalf. I don't know if you've ever seen a 60-year-old man try to rap before with no prior experience, but it makes you feel better about what you're trying to do with your life. Because he's got like this gravelly old man voice too, so it sounds like you're being harassed by Freddy Krueger. It's not fun. It's not fun. I want to buy a gun, but not a traditional one because I want to fuck with the intruder's head. I want one of those ones that you have to like pump full of gunpowder for like 5 minutes. It's not as efficient, but then when you step out, you can be like, "Thou hast chosen the wrong domicile, knave." Let's see, what do I want to end on? Did anybody else feel heartbroken when Snoop performed at that like inauguration for Trump?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's because Snoop was like the one guy that everybody could agree on before that. Like there were Klan members like, he's not that one. Not that one. He's good. I put that one in my, that one was in my phone as Snoop Coon. So, we'll see. All right, I'm Chris Waller. Thank you very much. Where the fuck is the stand?
It's funny, I have Snoop in my phone the same way and no one thinks it's funny. See? Case in point. Thank God for the void. All right. So, there has been, by the way, Cassidy, how many more friends do you have coming? Do I need to wait for anybody else or? No, this is great. Now, I appreciate it. They should all go. By the way, Chris Brown's come up a couple times tonight. And as I said, the bartender's name is CB, and we don't need to look any deeper into it.
I saw the ABCs.
Don't look at the ABC list. That's a court file, and it's not for you. The point is, do you have anyone else coming?
Not that I know of.
How about, like, do you have any alcoholic lush friends? Maybe, like, oh, what's up? How you doing? I'm doing great. What you drinking? Having more of it. That's what's up. All right. Cassidy ratted you out, but it's cool. You're cool.
The person in front of
Oh. Hey, watch out. This guy is a boozer. You're gonna want to be careful around him. Was it not him? Did I get it wrong again? Oh, right. He's the alcoholic. Okay. Wow. No one even has any, like, everyone's nodding and pointing. I mean, no one is nervous about calling you an alcoholic at all. That's cool, man. When I was 20, that was awesome. All right, we're gonna keep moving along. Your next comic is newer to doing comedy. They just came from a class. It was a drug and alcohol class. You should ask for information on it. Everybody put your hands together for Lindsay Morris.
That set was pretty funny. I think Snoop Dogg killed someone, right? Didn't he kill someone? Unclear. Allegedly. But I mean, Casey Anthony's back too, and allegedly as well. So, I guess. I did just come from a comedy class, and the expectations, like, nobody thinks I'm going to be amazing. The standards are low. It's incredible. I wrote this down. Are vaginas caves? I want you guys to think about it. Because they are cavernous, but are they caves? One fun thing about me is that I feel like I excel at leaking. I get very wet, too wet, kind of slippery, but nobody's ever fallen in. But I hear my boyfriend on the phone with his mom saying things like, "I'm in too deep," so I get worried. I feel like I bully my vibrator the way a disappointed dad bullies his gay son. I say things like, "Why are you like this? I blame your mother. I hate you." That one was real. No, I'm just disappointed. I spent $43 on a vibrator recently, and I don't think I got my money's worth. And I tried to do the math on how many orgasms I would need to feel like I had done my money's worth, and I think it has to be more than 3. And now it's at 0. So I'm just a little sad. All right. Let's see, what else did I write? Stephen from the coal mine. No. Okay. Is anyone else a bathroom widow? Has anyone heard this term? Okay, it's when your boyfriend just won't stop pooping. It's fine. You can laugh. It's a true story. I know that if the bathroom door is closed, I have hours to myself. I have once left the house, like went out for a little me day, and came back, and he's still there. And I was wondering if he was jerking off in there, because I've never caught him jerking off, and I've tried. I'll burst in and be like, "What you doing?" And it's never jerking off, but I know he does it. And it bothers me that I can't figure out what he's doing. So one time I took his phone away. And I put a porn magazine like in the side. It was a Playboy, just to see. And I put like a little piece of paper to see if he was gonna read it. He didn't open it. So I need a better trap. So if anyone has an idea of how to trap and find out if he's masturbating, and what kind of porn does he like? We've been together for 2 years, and I don't know what kind of porn he likes. He gets all shy. He's a shy boy. After 2, I just thought he was like awkward and maybe autistic, but no, he's shy. And I don't know how to deal with shyness, because as you can tell, I'm like not very shy. But yeah, in too deep. What is I gonna write? You know what? We already discussed. So where are we on the cave thing? Yes? It's fine. Okay. Okay. Oh, right. All right. I'm gonna put this down because I wrote like 3 jokes and I'm already like halfway there. When I went to college many centuries ago, I went to a seminar and they basically said, you're not losing your virginity, guys. You're making your sexual debut. Okay? And it was beautiful, and I felt so beautiful about it. But guys, I've been on stage for a while now, and I'm tired. I've had enough. It's getting so bad now that we're doing like 2 p.m. matinees. It's like a 3-minute thing. Nobody comes. Nobody finishes. He doesn't finish. I don't finish. I don't know when it's over. You just kind of look at each other, and he pretends to breathe heavy too. Like he's not actually. It's just for me. He's just like, oh, I think I'm done. I'm like, yeah, whew. Yeah, I haven't moved. I don't think I moved to begin with. I don't know how even we had sex, but it's over. It's done. I'm in too deep, guys. I'm in too deep. It's been 2 years. I'm trying to come up with jokes like where you have a really loving relationship, but you just don't want to fuck the person anymore. What is that joke? Is it just on me? Joke's on me. I am new to Richmond. I'm sober, so that joke about drug and alcohol felt really personal. But I feel like it's like stealing valor because I wasn't officially an alcoholic, you know? I stopped right before shit was gonna get good. Like, I only like, you know when you like stop wearing a bra to go get beer and then you stop wearing your shoes? Like, we were really close. There was something there. I knew I was fucked when I went to like a grocery store and this guy like, I was like a minute late and I was trying to convince him to open the door and then this homeless guy came up next to me and was trying to help me out. And he's like, oh, you see, I was worried, but now I can see now, like, this is, like, he thought I was homeless too. And then the guy that was homeless offered me like one of his like beers and I took it and I was like, fuck, this is gonna get bad. Okay. I just don't know how to make my relationship funny. I don't know. It's just loving. It's fine. He cooks. He's a nice guy. Has anyone dated a nice man before? Yes, he's a golden retriever. I just don't want to fuck a dog. All right, we've got like 1 minute left. I'm working on my crowd work. Does anyone want to share something about themselves, like a personal injury, like maybe a recent diagnosis, perhaps like a party trick? Anyone?
That guy's an alcoholic.
Okay, way to steal my thunder, dude. Like, keep it to your fucking self. All right, that's my time. Thanks, guys. I'm Lindsay.
Lindsay Morris, everybody. Keep it going for Lindsay Morris. And just because no one answered Lindsay, yes, I do believe vaginas are caves. In fact, that's how I knew I was going to marry my wife, because I pulled it out and it went,
A diamond in the rough.
and buried itself in the sand. Then I wiped my dick off on the magic carpet and I said, Apu, we're keeping this one. I actually went to elementary school underneath the Magic Kingdom. That's the gross part of that joke. My father was an Imagineer. All right, let's keep this moving along. Your next comic. What a surprise, what a treat, a special pop-in guest. Everybody put your hands together with the new hairdo. It's Roz.
My hairdo is not new. I'm just gay, and straight men take a while to notice. Hi, everyone. Can we give a round of applause for Lindsay again? Can we give a round of applause? It takes a lot of balls to be up here, and I will say that I don't know about your situation, but every heterosexual relationship I've been in has been hilarious, inevitably. Okay, what do I want to do up here? I will say I love this crowd. It's a rare one. There's a very few, maybe non-existent times where I've trusted 3 tables of people up here with my drink. So thank you all for being here. I'm gonna crowd work you a little bit. Is that okay? Is that fine? God, you all have such crazy hair. I don't even know. I usually find the person with the gayest fuck-ass haircut, and I never know who it's going to be. Which one of you? Okay, I was talking to you with the duster. Hey. Have you been keeping up with the news? Yeah, there's a lot of it. There sure is a whole lot. I've been keeping up with the news, unfortunately, and Trump, you're gonna believe that, Silver, right? When I say that word. Trump, he has a new executive order where he is allowing for there to be commercial tree carnage in national parks, right? It's been a thing. He signed it today. And his reason for allowing companies to go in and just mow down forests and national parks is that that's his solution to wildfires. That was my reaction. That was my exact reaction. Because that is the most, what was she wearing? Logic I have ever heard in my fucking life. It was crazy, and I won't do my Trump impression because it's bad, and y'all have seen enough of that. But listen, it's this whole like, what are you doing out here with your flammable leaves and bark? Okay, fire's gonna do what it's gonna do. All right, let's just get rid of all the trees. I don't have a punchline. It's just sad. Do you guys know what frogging is? So, thank you. An active audience member. Frogging, apparently I learned this at the open mic I was at earlier tonight, has multiple meanings. PH frogging is when someone is living in your house secretly with you. And how do you know about this? You've seen videos. Okay, I've watched the Netflix documentaries. It's getting real bad. I have to get absorbed in other people's problems these days because I'm like, life's getting real rough. I need to know about someone who had someone living in their walls secretly. So a lot of froggers are doing this for like weird, fucked up reasons, right? They're like, I want to do surgery on your kids. I've been here generationally, and I just live in your attic, and the guy before me was chill with it, and hey, I'm all for squatters' rights, okay, fuck a landlord. I want to try it. I want to try frogging someone else's home. My neighbors have a spot. My neighbors next door, I live in a really chill Northside neighborhood. It's just older, retired people and the gays. And we're vibing. My neighbors, I hate them. You have this on camera. I hate you. I fucking can't stand them. And I want a frog in their house for one reason and one reason only. They're on the fringes, this couple. I want to solidify that divorce. I want to get them out of that neighborhood. Because I know y'all can't afford it on a single income. Okay? I've heard you screaming about it all night. I want to get in your house. I want, when you are mad at him for not taking out the trash to the curb, I want to go out there and take that garbage bag out of the trash can on the curb. And I want to put it back in your kitchen. I want to start fights. I want to start fights. I want to take your phone charger on your side of the bed and I want to put it on his. I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to unfold your laundry. I want to get crazy with these people. And you might be like, Roz, why are you saying that you're going to do this in the sense of the guy's fucking it all up? Because he is. He always is. Fight me later if you want to about that. But he always is. All right, let's see. What else do I have for you? You guys know about AI. We all know about AI. They are shoving it down our throats. Oh my God. Apparently, and this isn't a joke, this is just a pro tip. If you put the word fucking in your Google search, it removes the AI. So if you're like, who is Grammy winner, whatever, the AI comes up. But if you go, who the fuck is this person? AI is deactivated. And that's a pro tip, okay? When I was looking last night at therapists and I put RVA fucking therapists, I got the wrong results. No AI. But I feel like AI is penetrating our lives. We're artists. I can tell you're all artists. Hey, raise of hands, how many of you went to VCU for arts? Yeah, that's what I thought. How many of you went to another school for arts? Oh my God. Wait, what did you go to school for? I need to know bleach brows. Hey, what's up? Horticulture? Oh my God, wait, I'm a gay farmer too.
Horticulture and entomology.
Ew! I love it. There are a lot more gay farmers than you think there are. I'm about to be a gay farmer at Maymont. Come visit me. Thanks. New job. What? Yeah, I'm getting paid. Yeah. What do you think I am? I grew up farming for free for my parents. I know what I'm worth. I feel like AI is taking over everything. It's taking artists' jobs. It's ruining the creative market. It's fucked up, okay? And I'm scrolling through Instagram, as we all are, and I come across a video where there's farmers and they're shoving an IUD in a cow's shoo-shoo. Is that 5 or done?
That's one.
Beautiful. They're shoving, I have enough time for this. They're shoving IUDs in the cows, woohoo. And the caption is, we're putting AI in our cows. Hey, what does that mean? Hey, what does that mean? What's the AI gonna do? Is it gonna be a better cow? I don't know, and I'm angry, and I don't understand, and I finally understand my grandfather, and I'm like, I'm about to post a very angry comment, because it's fucked up, and I get in the comments, and I start scrolling, and I realize that AI also stands for artificial insemination, and I immediately calmed down. There's more to it than just our global politics, folks. Some people are just trying to get their cows pregnant. I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Thank you so much. Let's get Jacob McFadden up here. His dad was an Imagineer.
He's also a felon, so I mean, we're just going to list all the stuff about him. Roz, gay farmer, everybody. Gay farmer. I gotta be honest, I think the people who coded farmersonly.com didn't put enough drop-down boxes in for you. I'm not surprised that you went the art school person just drawing on the table with a pen. Just like not even hiding it, which is fine. I don't care, by the way. I was here when the new owner bought the building, they painted all the walls. They're like, but no one's gonna draw on them this time. And I was like, okay. All right. And then we came back 3 nights later and it was this. By the way, we did do a quick survey over here about art students, and looking at the table, your friend left, but you can answer, for advertising or public relations majors? All right. That's the degree I have, and now I do accounting and business development. What a bullshit degree. Your next comic, everybody. Your next comic is one of the best performers in the city. Really the only guy I trust to host this room for me when I knock my wife. Hey, what'd you go to school for? Yeah.
Psychology.
Sick. That fits entirely. Hey, let me ask you a question. Why does he drink so much? Well, everyone knows you got a problem, but like, what is it like?
It's called substance use disorder.
Oh. Why does he substance use disorder so much?
Probably some underlying issue.
Yeah, it probably is. It's always an underlying issue. All right. Your next comic, one of the best performers in the city, just was recently engaged. So every time he tells a joke doesn't work, I want the entire audience to go, "Aw," instead. Because he's a good man and a woman loves him. Everybody put your hands together for Tyler Bauer.
Home sweet home, what's up, what's up? Beautiful people, lovely people, good to see you. Here's my impression of one of the home sweet home regulars walking in and realizing it's comedy night. Fuck! Thank you so much, thank you. Who here is familiar with the Mandela effect? Do we know what the Mandela effect is? Have we been affected by Mandela? If you're not familiar, it's a phenomenon. The name stems from people thinking that Nelson Mandela died in prison in the 90s when he actually lived much longer. People think like shit, like the Fruit of the Loom logo used to have a cornucopia or some shit. And people always use this as an excuse to be like, oh, we bumped into an evil timeline and that's why my life sucks. That's why I suck so much. Because once I realized it was the Bernstein Bears, I realized I was a real piece of shit. And I haven't seen my kid in weeks. I think the only real provable Mandela effect with science is, every year when the Super Bowl happens, they make merch for both teams before the game starts, and then whatever team loses, supposedly they just send the losing team's merch to like a third world country. That's the only real Mandela effect. Most of Kenya still thinks that the Buffalo Bills killed it in the 90s. That's provable with science. And here's something for you that's real scientific. I think this is provable. I used a scientific method. I think slurs for Italians just sound kind of cool. They don't sound offensive. Slurs for Italians are just kind of cool. Dago. Pretty cool. Sounds like a cool demon to me. Dago, the mariachi demon. Wop. Wet ass pussy. Pretty cool. I can say these things. I am Polish. I don't trust Guidos, though. Guido sounds like a Legend of Zelda enemy. Thank you. Play the song of Guidos on your ocarina. Ocarina. Macarena. Here's a fun word. Oppenheimer. That's a guy. Fun guy. Depressed guy, that Oppenheimer. I feel like he wouldn't have been as sad about his creation, the nuclear bomb. Mr. Oppenheimer, he wouldn't have been as sad about his creation if he lived long enough to see the PlayStation. Because in a roundabout butterfly effects kind of way, the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki did lead to Jack and Daxter, and that's cool. Oppenheimer, if he saw Ratchet and Clank, he'd be like, I'm making more bombs. And then he'd see anime and he'd be sad again. He'd say, by God, what have I done? But then Oppenheimer, he'd see hentai and he'd be happy again. Thank you. Hentai. That's Chinese cartoon porn. I like to gang stalk homeless people. It means to make them feel like they're being followed. I like to make homeless people believe they're being followed. You need to keep these guys moving. I have a creepy white van. I drive up and down Broad Street chasing these homeless people, making them afraid for their lives. And you need to do this. You need to keep their blood moving or else the fentanyl will stop and kill them. I'm doing a good thing. I'm a part of a community outreach program. I reach out, grab homeless people and say, wake up! Thank you, I'm a good guy. Did you hear they're making a reboot of Boy Meets World? You're being Mandela affected. There is not a reboot of Boy Meets World. They're finally making a reboot of Boy Meets World. It hasn't come out yet. Damn, I'm Mandela affected. I forgot Girl Meets World exists. Shit. They're making a new remake. And because it's the third Boy Meets World, they're titling it Boy Meets Third World. And it just takes place in a country called Topanga. A lot of civil war in Topanga, a lot of child soldiers in that Topanga. What are they gonna do? I'm 28. I turned 28 this year. I beat the 27 club, and that's pretty cool. That means I'm better than Jimi Hendrix. Fuck you. I'm better than Kurt Cobain. Fuck you. I'm better than Janis Joplin. Fuck you. It means I beat them, that I lived longer than them. Jimi Hendrix died choking on his puke. Gross. Kurt Cobain died by killing himself. Grow up. Janis Joplin died of a heroin overdose. Before fentanyl even existed, pussy. Fentanyl is the Looney Tunes painted brick wall for drug addicts. This is something I've been thinking about a lot, and I don't know how to feel about it, but for a lack of a better term, if you go on YouTube and you look up like normie music videos, like if you go to a Dave Matthews Band music video, half of the comments will just be like, sitting here with my wife who's dying of stage 6 cancer, thinking about the good times, thank you Dave Matthews. Half of the comments are just this kind of thing. And it sucks because it's already bad enough that I'm listening to Dave Matthews. I don't need to hear about your sick wife. Put her down. Take her out back. Shoot her. Your wife's not allowed to be sick. That's illegal. You took a vow. I think whoever invented centimeters had a small dick. Like, I don't know, 23 centimeters sounds a lot better than 3 inches hard.
Great.
What, are you a fan of the imperial system?
Nah, she owns a cave.
Spelunking. Fentanyl is bad, though. It kills a lot of people. It kills a lot of our friends and family and celebrities, even. It's nuts. It's crazy that illicit fentanyl. Did you hear about Stuart Little? The mouse? Died of a fentanyl overdose. And because he's a mouse, like, fentanyl normally, like a small amount in your drugs will kill you, but Stuart Little's a mouse, so it was a very, 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 very small amount of fentanyl. God bless you. Thank you so much. Rest in peace, Stuart Little. I'm Tyler Brown. Thank you so much. We're going to bring back Jacob McFadden. You guys have been lovely, and I love you. Goodbye.
Tyler Bauer, everybody. Tyler Bauer. A lot of Italians over here. I noticed he lost you when he got into that. A lot of Italians. Wow. Hey, if you guys are all Italian, my condolences for being Italian. That can't be easy. You have a substance use disorder. What's your favorite slur? Doesn't have to be racial. In fact, I prefer if it wasn't.
It's okay, we'll say it at the same time.
Okay, you ready? You ready? Oh, don't look right in his eyes. 3, 2, 1. Mackerel snapper. And you didn't say anything. I'm out here besmirching Catholics and you haven't said a fucking word. And it's almost Ash Wednesday. Their Pope's gonna send me to hell as soon as he gets off a ventilator. I'm just kidding. The communist Pope isn't dying. He's just resting when he should be working. Your next comic coming to the stage loves a communist Pope more than anything. In fact, a huge fan of the Pope in general through all the years, especially that one from Convergence. Everybody put your hands together for Flo.
That's karma, right? That's a Catholic thing. Karma?
Yeah.
Hi. How's it going? Do anybody at this table, you know how to shuffle a deck of cards? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Here's this for you. Shuffle this for me. And please, name a prime number between 9 and 13.
I was gonna say 13. Is that between that?
11. 11 is the answer. Go ahead and shuffle that 11 times, please. And while they're doing that, I'm gonna do some generic crowd work. I don't like to do the individual, people get made fun of, yada yada, blah blah blah. I do group crowd work. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna ask some general questions, and everybody's gonna answer all at once. Do you think you can do that? Yes. Okay, the alcoholic is game, but everybody else is like, I don't know about this. Do you think you all can answer questions in unison for me? Yes. Perfect, perfect. So, what's your name? Okay, you all fucking suck at this.
Art school.
That doesn't mean you... Okay, whatever. You went to art school, is that where you learned to shuffle cards so well? Is that just I don't know, do people in art school gamble? You don't know, you didn't go to art school. What are we doing? What are we doing here? General questions, that's what we're doing. What do you do for work? Okay, never mind. This is... Y'all suck at that. While you're shuffling cards, Tyler was talking about the Mandela effect. I don't believe in the Mandela effect. I don't, because for me, it's like, it's totally reasonable that a large group of people are just fucking wrong. Right? Okay, all right. Give me this. This is not going well, huh? Sure. I don't care. Because these aren't real cards. These are my jokes. So this is my set now. Thank you. I've been mailing myself anthrax. And when it arrives, I just write, return to sender. 'Cause I really hate my mail carrier. They suck. My taxidermy policy is exactly the same as my coffee policy. You kill it, you fill it. Do you know taxidermy?
Do I do taxidermy?
Do you know it?
Yes.
Okay. They say when you get nervous on stage, you should picture everybody in their underwear. I don't do that. That's like invasive. I don't want to do that to anybody. Instead, I picture everybody as geese. So geese, what's the deal with swans? Am I right? They really ruffle my feathers. I've been reading this really interesting book. It's about nihilism. It's called. Never mind. It doesn't matter. I've got this non-binary friend, and they refuse to learn how to code.
Yeah.
My car got repossessed. I was able to drive it here, but those demons are real persistent. I was fornicating somebody recently, and they said, "Hey, I want you to be in charge." And I was like, I don't think that's true, because when I'm in charge, I delegate. So if I'm gonna be in charge of this situation, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Mike, I need you on that asshole." Ashley, you start working those nipples. I need them coming in 5 minutes, everybody. Hey, 5 minutes Jiffy Lube rules. I call my bedroom the Jiffy Lube. You all are gonna hate this for a second, but bear with me. I make child pornography. Not porn with children, porn for children. It's like the Wiggles, but way sexier. On an unrelated note, if you masturbate for charity, does that count as an honorable discharge? Fun fact, Steve Jobs hired Yo-Yo Ma, famous cellist, to play the cello as he died. Similarly, I was asked to tell this next joke as the Queen of England died. I've got a weird thing for Asian women. It's a sombrero. To give you an idea of where my love life is at, my last porn search was people who care about each other. My girlfriend keeps bringing spaghetti into the bedroom, and it's like, yeah, I asked for nudes, but these are soggy. Soggy Nudes. That's my producer nickname. I'm always getting pegged as somebody who would enjoy anal. Well, I don't know. Okay, that kind of ties into what I was doing a little earlier. I've been thinking about getting top surgery. I'm gonna get my asshole sewn shut. I was in the grocery store the other day. The cashier asked me if I found everything I needed. And I was like, no, I had a little bit of trouble finding the lettuce I was looking for. And they said, heads of lettuce, no problem. Aisle 1. I said, yeah, I saw that. I was just trying to find a torso. I'm trying to make a Frankenstein salad, and it's okay. If you don't like that joke, you have to like literature and produce. So it's a hard Venn diagram. I'm gonna leave you all with this one, and I know I already put it away, so it's a little bit of a. This next joke just says eggs, milk, bread, and that's actually not a joke. That's just my suicide note. Please put your hands together for the very mentally stable Jacob McFadden.
Keep it going for Flo, everyone, and you don't feel bad. I don't know what the fuck a prime number is either. And I'm literally an accountant. If it doesn't have a dollar sign after it, I don't give a fuck. Guys, we are down to the final few performers on the show now. I know that this side of the room is about to be very excited about who's going up. And I am sure your next performer is going to do great. But I'd like to remind everyone that if they do great and want to do it again, it makes a terrible impression if everyone just gets up and leaves as soon as they're done. So just a quick reminder, the old standard formula is you give it 2 and then you go. And just to do a deep tease into the show, we've got your next performer, everyone's favorite, followed by an immigrant that Trump hasn't found yet, a guy who can get you free drinks at Strange Ways, and a woman who's old. Yeah. Kate's outside, so I'm not afraid to say that about her. All right, your next comedian. Boy, what can be said about your next comedian? Well, for starters, thank you. This one over here, tonight's a good night. We're making it. Aside from that, everybody, I think you know her. You'll love her. She probably didn't appreciate Chris's jab at the Irish never being oppressed. You racist piece of shit, in March? In March you're gonna make jokes about that? What the fuck? It's called England, and it's an island of perverted sadomasochists. I know! Oh, you have some experience? Well, so do we! I shouldn't say this, but it's not February anymore. They found us before they found you. That's historically accurate.
Were you picking clovers in the fields?
Yeah. Yeah, we were. You know how hard it is to find one with 4 leaves on it? You gotta do it so long. Danny, don't dab up a black guy because you want to feel cool when he tells a funny joke. All right. Look, that guy, look at his mustache. He's clearly the most racist comic in the city, and Pat Logan was here earlier. Anyways, look, he manages a beer company that logo is an actual monkey. That was too much. That was too much, and I blame the White Claw produced by Strangeways. Your next comic, everybody. Boy, this is going off the rails. I think I've built him up enough. I'm trying to give everyone in your group a chance to get their drink and get back up the steps, but I've stalled luck. Now, I'm not a psychologist, but I can tell you there's something really fucked up about that behavior. Whatever that was, that's not passive-aggressive. That is outwardly aggressive. Hey, everybody, I've stalled enough. Your friend's about... Okay, bye. Anyways, hey, they might be back, they might not, but they get credit for being here, right? Wow, he's fucking Irish. I don't know if she's Irish, probably not. Irish people don't do good in school. They're not that smart. Your next comedian, they drink too much, they have addled brains. Your next comedian. Coming to the stage. Who I'm just now realizing is probably Irish based on the last name, and I don't think they have addled brains. I think they're smart people, and Europe is lucky to have them. And I'm sorry, because it's March. But in April, you're back on the shit list. Your next comic has probably never beat her wife like those people do. That's... What? I'm sorry, I'm mad at my dad. Mr. McFadden needs to chill. If my father knew how to use YouTube, I would ask you to delete that. Your next comic coming to the stage. I'm trying to stall for her to get back, but I don't know. She's okay. And she can find it on YouTube. And I hope you caught her running away from her friend. And if you ever get in a street fight, you know who not to turn towards.
I know. She's gonna give him a drink. She's gonna get him a drink.
Before he gets to DTs? That's good. You don't want this guy having a seizure during your set, because that's gonna really, believe me, it's gonna fuck everything up. All right. Anyways. I can't believe this Irish chick hangs out with a guy with a drinking problem. That's, you would never imagine. Your next comic. Not a lush. Stop here. A baddie. Your next comic is a baddie. Does that sound natural coming out of my mouth? Let me try to change it up. Your next comic is a baddie. All right, everybody, make sure you get your hands all warmed up. Start slapping them together for your next comic. By the way, this is how people in my family talk, because we're actually, well, whatever. Your next comic is a baddie. Put your hands together for Cassidy O'Neall.
That host goes on way too long. He needs to learn to shut up.
This has actually been a crazy night because I'm Irish, Italian, and also black. So all of those really tied in, and I also am not good in school. I have a under 2.0 GPA. So I felt pretty clocked. I felt pretty seen. All right, how are you guys doing tonight? That's cool. I just learned that I wasn't doing well. It was news to me. I found out because my Irish father actually was the one to tell me I was depressed. I've known him for my whole life, 23 years. I've been mentally diagnosed since I was 14. He's never once brought up my mental health. And he goes, yeah, I think you're depressed. And I finally figured out how people felt when you're like in a state where the Waffle House is shut down, a natural disaster was coming. I was like, oh fuck, I might die this time. This might be it. But my dad is my biggest supporter and my biggest hater. We actually just were hanging out the other weekend, and a girl was flirting with me, and I didn't even realize, and he realized, and he was like, wow, Cass, that girl liked you. And that's good, because you do not look good right now. And I was like, oh, thanks, I think. And everyone kept saying he was complimenting me, but I didn't fucking see it. Is anyone else single? Anyone on Hinge, right? Anyone on Hinge? Because I fucking hate it. I think monsters are on Hinge, but I've started to realize that I might be one of the monsters on Hinge. I wasn't aware. I had a first date that was definitely interesting. I was nervous as nobody's business. I have anxiety. It's like a typical reaction. And basically, he texted me and he was like, oh, I'm out front of the restaurant. You want to smoke? And I was like, oh my God, more than anything. And we smoked, and a symptom of smoking is cotton mouth, if you've ever smoked weed before. And we were basically having a water drinking contest. And when you drink a lot of water, you have to go to the bathroom, obviously. And I excused myself very nicely to go to the bathroom. And I banged on the door, and a man yelled at me that he was busy. And then I heard the toilet flush a bunch of times, and I was like, oh fuck. There's one bathroom in this restaurant, and this man is either doing drugs or having the hardest shit of his life. And I am stuck here, almost about to piss my pants on a first date. So I go back to the table. I'm still super high. I am trying to focus on him, but all I can focus on is the random Price is Right that's playing on the background of my date. And like he's talking to me, and like the bladder is only getting worse, and I'm just realizing that it's like me and Drew Carey versus the world right now. Like he's talking to me, and I almost want to tell him to shut up because I fucking can't. I can't with him. Like I've already kind of X'd this guy out of my mind. And I basically get up from this date and I run out the door. I was like, I'm so sorry. I have to find a bathroom somewhere else. So I'm running down the street and I realize there's no other options. And I see a very lit alley, which is never the greatest idea, but when you have to go, you have to go. And I literally just popped a squat, did it, and I ran back in. And he immediately called me out. He was like, you weren't gone that long, and there's no public restrooms nearby. So like, what did you do? And I was like, oh fuck. What? I was like, So I was like, oh my God, it was crazy story. I just saw this lady closing her store down, and I came in there begging and telling her my situation. And she let me in, and I'm like lying my ass off, and I'm not a good liar, so I definitely was like, I'm getting clocked for this, like there's no way I'm getting away with this. And I'm like, yeah, she let me go to her bathroom, it was super nice of her, but she's closed now, so you can't do that, so like you gotta have to deal with like what's happening here. I'm good though, like I'm fine. And he like stared at me for a minute, and I was just waiting for like you're a fucking liar, like you are a liar. And he goes, oh my God, you're such a lucky person. I can't believe, like, that's your life. Like, that's amazing. And I was like, yeah, thanks. And then he made me pay for the date. So I obviously am not that lucky. Shocker was he did ask me on a second date. Obviously I said no, but I literally couldn't believe that he even asked. But yeah, so I hate Hinge, yeah. Yeah, I definitely am. That was probably my worst first date, and that's when I started realizing, I was like, maybe I'm the problem, but who knows? I mean, I definitely I haven't forgotten that. It's been almost a year since that date happened, but I've also been notoriously known for holding grudges. I think the longest grudge I have, actually, is since preschool. I'm 23 now. I don't even know how fucking old you are in preschool anymore, but when I was in preschool, there was this guy that I hated more than anything, apparently. That's what my parents have claimed. And I would come home every day and just be like, I hate this kid. I hate him. I was like, he's the worst. And my parents were like, what did he do? And I was just like, he's annoying and he's stupid. Like, he just can't do shit for himself. And obviously, I wasn't cursing. I was like 3. I didn't know curse words yet. But I literally, I guess one day, I came home, and I've been reminded about this at least once a week since this day. I came home mad as hell. I truthfully wish I knew what he did. I'm pretty sure he stole my best friend, so I just fucking hated him. But I came home, I was maybe 3 or 4. I was probably 3 inches shorter than I am now. I'm only 5'3", so I couldn't have grown that much. But I came home and I looked at my parents and I was like, I think he's a disappointment to his father. And my parents looked at me with pure horror because they were like, how the hell did you think of making that sentence? And I was like, he's a terrible kid. They were like, okay, what's wrong with you? Why would you say that? And I was just like, he's a disappointment. I can see that. I'm a kid, but I have eyes. And after that, my parents gave me the nickname The Butcher because I always have beef. That's all I have. Thank you so much. I'm Cassidy.
Cassidy O'Neall, everybody. Keep it going for Cassidy O'Neall. Wow, and I know Tyler Bauer was up here talking about all those Irish stereotypes before you went up, and that was fucked up of him. But I do have to just point out that all that talk, and then you got gold wrapped around your waist, you hold grudges for a long time and refuse to let go of them, and when caught in an uncomfortable situation, you brag about being able to lie out of it with a complicated backstory. Or as your people call it, gift of the gab. But hey, happy March to you, and I hope Hinge treats you better. I hope they give you extra Hinge points or whatever. No, they won't. Hey, one day you'll delete it. Good. Well, I'm glad to hear about your nuptials. All right, we are down to our final few comics. Your next comic, everybody, this guy is the manager. And I should always do this. Every open micer loves it when they try stuff out and I bring up their place of employment. Your next comic is the manager of Strange Ways Brewing Company. That's info@strangewaysbrewing.com. Anyways, put your hands together for Danny. I once dabbed it up with a black guy, McCabe.
Now they know you're cool.
Yeah, I had to get that off my bucket list. Oh, man. Whew. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. What's your name? Ash. Ash, I appreciate you. How do you like it at Lucky?
I don't work there anymore.
Oh, okay. They do not like it at Lucky. Nice. I love that. I love that. Yeah, you may know me. I was the person on the Hinge date with Cassidy. That's right. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Years passed. I've ruined so many more Hinge dates. Oh, man. No, it's funny because we bonded over the fact that we're part Irish. I like to call my penis the Irish python. A lot of people say, oh, is that big? No, it's Irish. It's a thinker. It's a thinker. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
You don't get it. St. Patrick famously chased all the snakes out of Ireland, so he has no penis.
Except for me. He couldn't see it. It hid there amongst the freshly mowed grass. Oh, man. And it's green, that's why they call it the Emerald Isle. God, I thought of this concept the other day. What if there was like a Spotify Wrapped, but it was at the end of every month, but it was like for how much you ordered food through like DoorDash? Oh, I know, right? It's like, you ordered from Chick-fil-A or Burger King 10 times this month, fatty. I know, right? It was just like it just gets abrasive with you at some point. I think it'd be pretty fun. Oh my gosh. It's March, y'all. It's March. Happy Women's History Month. I know. What a crazy way to start off the month with, I think women can do anything to start off. I really do. I think the sky is the limit for women, especially rebranding yourself. Just look at Casey Anthony. I know, right? Girls just want to have fun, so that's why you put the duct tape over your kid's mouth. Oh, I know. Who doesn't love infanticide? Oh, man. Yeah, that's right. Other than ruining Hinge dates, a lot of people recognize me from my work. I was the guy who was handing out missions in GTA. Yeah, that's right. I played Napoleon Dynamite's brother, but I let myself go, clearly. And yes, I was the guy who stole Woody in Toy Story. I know, y'all felt bad about that. You're like, are comics this mean to themselves? Yes. That's the answer. I say it so you can't. Woo.
I like your flannel.
Thank you. I like your jacket. Yeah. See, we can be nice to each other. We can be nice to each other with crowd work. Guys, I'm not ageist, but I really don't like old people. I work in a bar, as Jacob said. It's very annoying how many old people come in there, and they want like a whole show out of you. Like, are you excited we came in? I'm like, what kind of fucking psychotic question is that? I am hungover. Please leave me alone. Order the beer and leave. That's right, this is on camera. I hope my boss sees this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, it's crazy because we have a beer there. We have a beer there right now called Baron's Privilege. And this old lady, she said, that reminds me of Prima Nocta. Oh, yeah. Do you guys know what Prima Nocta is? No. Okay. So in feudal England, right, it basically meant that the king, before each marriage, got to lay with the virgin women before they got married. That's insane, right? That's insane. That's ye old ditty party at that point. Ye old ditty party. But, I'm trying to find a way to deter these old people, I need to get them away from me. I've decided I found a really cool method. I've started wearing my furry tail to work. The bushier, the better. I like to keep it so well hidden that they don't know whether or not it's a clip-on or a stick-in. Those of you with furry tails know what I'm talking about. Big old raccoon, Oh yeah, stick it in. That way they don't fuck you in the ass with the tip. Yeah, exactly. It's already in. The tip is included. No pun intended. Oh, man. No, it's funny because, they also think the way I look, right? I suffer from a condition called visually Republican. I don't need insurance. Just give me a better furry tail, I told this guy, no, I don't like Trump, and he called me a socialist cuck. That's not true, all right? I'm just a cuck. You know how like directors get their own director's chair? I want a cuck chair with my name on it. This guy watches. Oh man, crazy political climate we're living in, right? Yeah, crazy political climate we're living in. My God. Just last week, Trump announced that he was going to offer a gold membership for citizenship, right? He was going to offer a gold membership. I think that's kind of crazy, paying for that. Like, are you at least going to offer one with ads? Like, shit, you go to vote and it's like, wait, before you cast your ballot, watch this 2-minute ad from Liberty Mutual. Because nothing says God bless America like fucking, 15% off your fucking car insurance. I know, Limu Emu. I love that fucking emu. Someone told me he died, and I got really sad. I know, I don't think he died, though. Speaking of crazy Limu Emu shit, also shit that Trump did, I don't get it. Why did he rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America? That's so fucking stupid. What is he gonna do when we find out that we have a state called New Mexico? Yeah, that's right, New America. I'll give you one last political one. This is my impression of RFK having an orgasm. Cheryl's just lying there. I know, I visualized it. Oh, man. I'll leave you on one last one. It's March. We're approaching that year anniversary. Do you guys remember when that bridge in Baltimore collapsed?
Oh, the Francis.
Yeah, that's right, the FSK bridge. Yeah. I almost went to FSK High School. It's crazy. What's the craziest part about that is we are 1 year away from getting the Marky Mark biopic about it. That's worse than the tragedy, because you know how fake that's gonna be. You know he's gonna be a divorced construction worker who somehow their 7-year-old daughter is on the bridge. Buddy, you gotta get my daughter down. Not even doing a Baltimore accent. Disgraceful. Well, thank you guys so much. I've been Danny McCabe. Y'all have been lovely. Let's hear it for Jacob McFadden!
Danny McCabe, everyone. The FSK bridge? I mean, the whole fucking thing fell down. You can't even use its full name? You gotta go with acronyms? What does the bridge have to do to get named by you? It's the Francis Scott Key Bridge. It's dead. Show some goddamn respect, Danny. Your next comic coming to the stage. Thank God you guys are here. Because I told Tom Homan if there were less than 8 people in the room, I was going to report his home address. Your next comic coming to the stage. He's laughing. You can laugh. Don't leave. I'll get him deported. Oh, that's fine. You can go over there. I hope so. If not, just say hi to whoever's in there. Your next comic coming to the stage. Put your hands together for Louie Carroll.
Home sweet home! How you guys are faring? Doing alright? I'm the immigrant Trump hasn't found yet, according to Jacob. You guys know when somebody asks what time is it and you go time when you ask what time is it and somebody goes time to buy a watch? I hate those people. I hate those people so much. I wish I had goons to mess with them whenever they said that. Like, wise guy. Break his watch. What time is it now?
10:52.
Yeah, why are your eyebrows white? Yeah, it's white. I think it's cool. Staring contests. Staring contest. No, it's not a suggestion. It's a concept. Yeah, it's a concept. I think staring contests were invented by a bunch of wimps. Can you imagine 2 guys getting so angry that they're like, "You wanna eye wrestle? Let's duke it out just with our eyes. I'll pummel you with my gaze." It's the same thing when people get really close when they want to fight. You know your peepees are touching right now. I don't like how we treat homeless people like dinosaurs. It's inhumane. Like every time one crosses your path, we go, "Shh, don't move." Yeah. You know the phrase "deja vu"? What a load of bullshit that phrase is. You've seen something but you don't remember where you saw it, you're lying. You're lying. Your pants are on fire. I'll give an example. Like if bombs were planted in this building all around, and you saw, and they're really not. But if bombs were planted all around this building, and you saw where they were, but you don't remember where, I'll be like, you're lying. I like to be a therapist. I feel like I'll be good at it. Like people would tell me their problems, and I'll be like, big whoop. And then I'll go, when I said big whoop, how did that make you feel? Somebody here was named Ash, right? You're gonna hate me for this joke, but I think funerals would be fun if we sang Ring Around the Roses before we sat down. And he walks on cremations too, like ring around the roses, a pocket full of posies, ashes. Ashes. Somebody spilled grandma's ashes. Sorry, Ash. Do you guys prefer to eat in public or eat alone? Alone? I prefer to eat in public because I feel like the food tastes better, you know? I also like to eat in public because I like to do a little narration when people eat. But can you imagine you're eating and somebody goes, wow, this is the shit. He said flabbergasted. Bemused by his discovery. Blown away by that spaghetti. Yeah, I know it's a rough joke. I like the phrase, I got your nose. I like that phrase because it's like lighthearted and fun, but what if it wasn't? You know, like what if you got a call and someone was like, hey, this is a ransom. Notice anything missing? No, check again. What's going on? You know when people mock, when people go boo-hoo to mock you crying? Nobody cries like that. It sounds like banter between me and a ghost. Like, boo-hoo, me? How dare you boo me? I'll write unsavory things on your tombstone. I took an IQ test and found out I was smart. And got 100. Yeah, I showed my mom and she sighed. I think Christmas is like showing up to court because they have the same procedures. You know when you go to the mall and you have to like sit on Santa's lap? I think that's like being an oath because you say the same thing. Like, do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth? Have you been good this year? Are you on the naughty list or the good list? Are you innocent or guilty? What do you want for Christmas? What are you wanted for? Anybody here gotten robbed before?
What?
Anybody here gotten robbed before? Yeah, victims, yeah. I've gotten robbed and it sucks. That's why I think we should make fake bat signals. Can you imagine getting robbed and being like, whoa, chief, eye on the sky. It's a corny joke. I wish bank heists still happen so I could go ha 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 ha. Because I love heists. I'm always on the side of the heist. That's why I'll be a terrible hostage. Can you imagine it's a hostage situation and you're like, hey, big fan. Sorry about the drooling, I just get really excited about heists. Me, I'm not a hostage, I just showed up. I brought donuts. Let's see. I'll do one more. Ascots. It's hard to make scouts cool when they wear ascots. You know what's cool? Pretzels. It's a food tied in a knot. You throw in tying a knot into anything, you make your life better. It's like a life hack. Shoelaces untied, tie your shoelaces. Life hack. Balloon animals looking too round, tie a knot. Life hack. You bankrupt your company by investing in the wrong stocks. Find a tree and tie a rope to it. Life hack. And that's been my time. Give it up for Jacob McFadden.
Louie Carroll, everybody. Keep it going for Louie Carroll. I'm just kidding. He's also from Hopewell. That's the whole immigrant thing was a joke. It was a funny joke I made up, and no one from the government should look for him because he is solid. Solid.
Yeah.
All right. We are down to your final comic. Oh, no, I have to go to the beginning before anyone's here. And believe me, if you watch the video, I have all the energy of someone who knows that it's only going to get better from here. Your next comic, your final comic, she is a staple in this bar. Whoa, that sounds bad, actually. And your next comic, hey, Cassidy, your next comic's also Irish. She's a staple at this bar. She's, just because it's the cheapest bar in the area doesn't mean anything. Your next comic, I'm not going to do that thing again. Your next comic and I, oh, what a history we have. Sort of like the British and Irish. I'm the good one. You know why I'm the good one? I'm Republican. That's a joke about British terrorism in the 70s. All right, we'll move on from here. Your next comic, as I said earlier, is a vivacious young woman, still fertile, still full of all the pleasant lumps, and that's exactly how she wants me to describe her. Your next comic, they used to call her the MAGA babe. She is. Her family is from Appalachia. She thinks that America can be great again if we only all pull together and make Canada pay for it. If you guys are ready, your next comic believes in nothing more than personal freedom and the free market. Put your hands together for the Jeff Bezos of comedy. Catherine Carroll.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Jacob. No, actually, Jacob did touch on something that actually, anyone who's ever seen my stand-up knows it's near impossible for me to do a single set that is not political. And actually, I'm here to tell you tonight, I'm swearing off of that. I can promise you right now, nothing I'm about to say is political. As a good Christian woman who has nothing but faith in God and her country, I will not say a single word about politics. In fact, you know what? I don't even like politics. I am not political. In fact, I think the people that are political are annoying. Do you think I would pass if the secret police asked? That was my impersonation of a conservative white woman. Conservative middle-class white woman. And I know the question is like, hey, you're not, are you not a middle-class white woman? No, the middle class is dead. Free Luigi. Also, mind you, this is all new shit, so I appreciate you guys riding along with me on this. I had another line. Let me see if you guys might like this one better. Can you really call yourself a middle-class white woman if you've never gotten caught in 4K saying something painfully racist and then weaponizing your white tears to avoid accountability? Little wordy, right? No, But then if the question is, am I white? Yes, painfully so. I am very, very white. You want to know how I know? I own a pit bull and I don't wash my sheets nearly as much as I should. So something I've been doing a lot lately is I out of spite, I waited until the very last moment to download TikTok. Literally, I waited until it was about to be banned. It's like, fuck you people, I'm gonna do it now. Like, I've been holding out because I was a millennial and I thought I was better than everyone. But no, I did it, and I actually have been doing like a lot of like debate panels, and one of the things that I come across a lot of times are very uneducated people who have no business having a platform. And after I do these panels, they'll come and find me like on my page, and they'll leave these like crazy, like ignorant, like really like aggressively angry comments that are just like, "Fuck you, dumb liberal," not a liberal, but "Fuck you, dumb liberal," like, you know, we won, co-parter. And it's like, dude, y'all won. You just said it right there. Y'all won. Why are you so fucking angry still? Like, that's like if Nancy Kerrigan tried to break Tonya Harding's leg. Oh my god, did I just say something that's way too old for people here to fucking get? Okay, here's a better one. That would be like if Taylor Swift interrupted Kanye. That'd be like if Kendrick dropped a diss track on Drake. Wait, hold on. That did happen, actually. No, I don't know. I saw this joke earlier today that was apparently, it was like an old Soviet joke, and it made me chuckle because it made me realize like how incredibly dry like Soviet Russian humor was, and it essentially went along the lines of, one day this old man, no, I won't do the accent, but this old man kept walking up to a news counter to pick up a newspaper and read it, but then he kept putting it back down and leaving. And he kept doing this day in, day out. And then finally, the purveyor of this stand was like, "Sir, you only keep reading the first page. What are you looking for?" And he said, "Well, I'm looking for an obituary." And he's like, "Huh, comrade, obituaries are always on the last page." To which the old man said, "No, this one will be on the first page." And I think you all know what I'm talking about. No, comrade. No, I thought that was such a funny joke because like someone shared it today and everyone was just like, "Yeah, we all know exactly what you're talking about." And it's cool to see that like class consciousness has come this far. But then like as I was thinking about it, I out loud to my husband said like, "Man, Russian humor used to be so good." I didn't even say used to. I said Russian humor is so good, and then I realized why that was false, because whatever Russian humor is nowadays is whatever like Roseanne Barr is doing.
They ripped all these clothes! Just kidding! It was open and you're dead!
No, I don't know. I started rewatching Battlestar Galactica. Has anyone here seen Battlestar Galactica? All right, nerds. All right, people who had too much time in high school and not enough friends. Fuck yeah. All right. No, Battlestar Galactica is a great fucking show. It's a really fantastic show. But it got me thinking, especially because if you guys have not seen Battlestar Galactica, basically the premise at the start is that Earth gets destroyed, and the only person left in the line of secession to like be the leader of the world, like the leader of the free world, essentially the president, is the Secretary of Education. And I was thinking about what that would be like if that was our circumstance right now, and that would be Linda fucking McMahon. And my first question would be is, how, honestly, my first thought is she'd probably still do a better job than what's going on right now. But also, like, what would that entail? Like, what would her, like, I don't know, foreign policy be? Would it be attempting to hit America's enemies over the head with a bedpan? I don't know, straight leg dick kicking Zelensky? I mean, they already did that the other day, but, like, I don't know. Like I said, this is all new shit. I will leave you with this. So, my husband and I, we've been married for about 4 years now, and we are at this point in our lives where, you know, we're thinking about having kids.
Woo! Yeah, I'm tired of talking about it after the show. Just do it.
All right, you fucking breeder. Jesus Christ. No, like it's been a question, like, and despite the fact that like it's really fucking scary to think about bringing kids in this world right now, I don't hate the concept. But then I was thinking about like what happens later on down the road, like, you know, when we do, what happens if we have a daughter and she brings home a boy for the first time? And like, I know for a fact that my husband's gonna be sitting on the front porch cleaning a gun. But not because he's trying to scare him away, it'll just be an inevitability because everything will be a burning hellscape. It'll be a team building exercise. We can all clean guns together. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'm Kate Carroll. Give it up for Jacob McFadden.
Keep it on with Kate Carroll, everybody. Kate and I do talk a lot about, you know, if she should have kids or not. And then it's always fine when it's me and her, and then her husband comes up, he's like, "What are you guys talking about?" I'm like, "Nothing." Now that you're here, the conversation's weird and prurient, and I don't like it.
I'm bigger than you are.
I don't care if he's bigger. I'm not saying I'm going to get you pregnant. I'm saying he should do it. We should probably high five on that, but it just seems weird to do, you know? Like, hey, buddy, I got a job for you tonight. First, you're going to need a metal detector. Get the piece of copper and pull it out. All right, we're going to move on. Cassidy, I thought we were done, but we're not done yet. Do you remember when you did your very first comedy set, and then one of your friends said, "Fuck this, I'm leaving. I'm not going to watch this shit. I got no time for this nonsense." And then she came back up with like 4 or 5 shots. Well, guess what? We have one extra performer tonight. Your next performer saw someone else on the show do this and thought, if she can do it, anyone can do it. And asked for a surprise appearance. Everybody from the left side of the room, the one you're really here to see, the one everyone's actually excited about, put your hands together for Ash.
So actually, I was inspired.
That's basically what I said.
And no, y'all got it right the first time. I'm the alcoholic.
It was not me. It was not me.
But on that note, the alcoholic over here said he wanted more shots. So if anyone wants to buy him a shot, he's drinking tequila tonight. Look, he's so excited, he's shaking. So I'm a lesbian, so that means that, so we move in within 2 weeks. So this girl that I'm seeing right now, she said she wanted to move in with me. So she's moving into my apartment, and we're moving the TV. And she asked me to help her move it in with her, help her pick it up. I said, no, U-Haul. Also, the same girl was a thespian, lesbian, so you could say it was a lot of drama. Sorry, I only have a few jokes. I wrote these in the bathroom. Last joke, so I'm a bartender. Woo! Yeah! I know you're happy about that.
You have a problem.
Shaking! He's shaking. I work at a bar for old people, and sometimes they can't read the menu, so they're like, oh, I forgot my reading glasses. And so I tell them, oh, no worries, I'll just go check the lost and found. Thank you.
Keep it over Ash, everybody. Wrote those jokes in the bathroom, and as part owner, I appreciate that she wrote them in her phone instead of on the wall. That's great. I'm not a part owner, just in case a crime happens here. Also, because it's true. Your next, oh wait, no, we're done. Hey, everybody. Boy, I'm used to this show going so much later. For the comics, we really missed out tonight.
Do you want me to do another 15?
I need you to do another 45. Brian Fontaine said that he was going to come out and perform as nearly 4-year-old Brian Fontaine. And I was like, oh man, if we can keep this thing going to midnight.
I will go up as well.
All right. Guys, what a fun night it's been. Ash, a great job. Cassidy, a great job. Everyone.
Another shot for Sterling.
Sterling, I can't believe it. And as we all know, tequila is the patient drinker's drink. Everyone just hangs out and sips on tequila. Yeah, a man sits in his study by the fireplace and sips tequila all night. All right. Anyways, wait until he leaves and then drive behind him. Here, guys, this has been a lot of fun. This has been Comedy for Home Sweet Home. We will be here again on the 18th, I believe. Tonight, a 50-year-old man gave me his phone number, told me to call him in the morning. And honestly, my wife's been a little boring lately, so I might. We are going to hang out here for a little bit. Danny and I will be drinking out on the porch. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. Good night, goodbye.